Hello, and this is a very short, mercifully short explanation of the key provisions of the KSX expression of interest form, the agreement that you sign in order to get your KSS report. We're obligated under the Code of Practitioners for Licensed Immigration Advisors in New Zealand to tell you about the material effects. First of all, this is an agreement that you make with two different organizations. One is Barclays and Lloyds, the immigration side of things, where independent licensed immigration advisors for New Zealand will give you advice on eligibility. And you have My Career Brand, a career branding firm in New Zealand, the biggest one, most successful one, that will handle your CV, your appearance, your profile, your positioning issues, and both come together in the KSS report. For the licensed immigration advisor part, we will assign a licensed advisor to you under this agreement, and we will tell you who that is. And we have listed for you all of the advisors. You can verify that they are licensed by going to the Immigration Advisors Authority webpage and to verify their license number. It is important that you only get immigration advice from licensed professionals. The important part here is to keep in mind that we can only comment on what you give us, so all of the information that we give back in the KSS report is dependent on the information you provide, and that means that it is limited only to that information that you provide. What you don't tell us, we don't know about, we cannot factor into our eligibility assessment, and therefore the report may not be the report that you should receive. It is important that you carefully prepare your expression of interest form, because that is the data we use in order to give you advice. The services under this agreement are limited to a KSS, a Kiwi Success Score report, and you would have seen a sample previously. It is available to you also. There is a link in the expression of interest form you completed, so you see what you will be getting, obviously adjusted for your specifics. The fees of the report are laid out in the agreement. There are two different fees, one for payments originating from outside New Zealand, that is automatically a non-GST, slightly cheaper expense, and the expense for doing a report inside New Zealand in which GST is added. We have, like every good business, a refund policy if we do something wrong. If our report is not done to the quality that we expect normally, we will discuss that with you if you have concerns, and we will then go through the refund policy. Remember that the report is not to tell you what you want to hear. The report is there to tell you what we see objectively from the outside, and it is then for you to make adjustments so that you can position yourself better for your career, your work, your residence visa in New Zealand. Therefore, the KSS report is not there to please you, make you happy. It is there to realistically assess what your current profile would be for a move into the workplace and then residence in New Zealand. We have attached to the expression of interest a complaints procedure. That is our standard complaints process procedure that we have available for you, and you can review that at your leisure. We want you to review that before you sign the agreement. You have given us some personal information, somewhat limited, but it is personal information, and we will treat that confidentially. That means that only those who are named in the agreement as licensed immigration advisors will see that information, and of course your CV is seen by staff of My Career Brand. The important part is that the information you give us about your previous visa, any conviction, any health information is clearly private information, and only your licensed immigration advisor working on your file, on your KSS report, and those named in the agreement will have access to that information, and we keep that private and confidential as we have to. When you sign this agreement, we ask you that you put in a number, and the number shows that you have seen this video, and the number is now shown for you here. That is the number in part 11 of the agreement that you must insert. We cannot proceed until we have seen that you have seen this information, that you're fully informed, and that we can proceed. And that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for listening. I know this is somewhat unusual, but it is a code requirement that we inform you. And since we are nowhere near you, and you might be in overseas lands and doing wonderful things at different time zones, this is the best and most efficient way to inform and to disclose and to make sure you understand what you're going to get from us. And I wish you all the best and hope that the KSS report will be a good starting point for you to understand where you can do different things to position yourself well for New Zealand. You're welcome here. Best wishes.